All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon. And man, in this video, we're going to talk about Teofimo Lopez, his father, Teofimo Lopez Sr., and a blistering, absolutely blistering statement made by Teddy Atlas that basically Teofimo Lopez needs to fire his father or else, and went in on him real hard. Let's talk about that in this video. Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon. Hey, before we get into the meat of the video, if you would not mind, make sure you hit the like button before you, hopefully you'll watch the video all the way to the end, but hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. It would be greatly appreciated, help the channel grow. All right, man, knew this was coming. In the aftermath of Teofimo Lopez losing all his belts to George Kambosos, it's now time to hand out a lot of blame and exactly what needs to change for Teofimo Lopez if Teofimo Lopez is ever going to come back from that. Because I'm telling you, man, that was what I believe to be one of the more humiliating losses that a young fighter can make. You get all the way to the top of the hill. You're the undisputed lightweight champion of the world, according to many people. Other people say he wasn't undisputed. I get that, and I actually agree with that. However, you know, definitely at the top of the lightweight division, one of the most the hottest young fighters in boxing after overcoming or beating Vasily Lomachenko in order to get that belt, and to come crashing down to a real big trash talker like George Kambosos in the way that he did was absolutely, you know, it was a devastating loss. So what can Teofimo Lopez do to move forward, to get back in the mix, to be one of the four kings of boxing, you know, the four kings of the lightweight division again? And Teddy Atlas, who we all know Teddy Atlas, so no need any introduction. And also a lot of other people are just saying flat out, Teofimo Lopez needs another trainer. Teofimo Lopez's father was incompetent, looked as if he was incompetent in that fight. They talk about how the fact that it was very obvious that they did not have a game plan for Teofimo Lopez going into that fight. Also talked about how, you know, when he was actually in the fight, how his father was giving him contradictory instructions, like saying, hey, you know, just relax, take your time. And then 2 seconds later, he'd be like, go out and knock him out, right? And then he would say things like, oh, you're winning the fight. We're going to be celebrating later, right? All of those type of stuff that was just, if you were looking from the outside in, you're like, man, what is this guy doing? He seemed as rattled. Teofimo Lopez Sr. seemed every bit as rattled or more rattled than his son did, just completely out of sorts during that fight. And, you know, and for a guy that was who was awarded in 2021, I think it was 2020 or 2021. Oh, I'm sorry, this is 20. So 2020 was the 2020 Trainer of the Year by the Boxing Writers Association of America. You know, it pretty much all, you know, fell apart, man. And so Atlas and these guys pointed to the fact that, look, you know, when most times, the vast majority of times that you have a father and a son combination in a boxing ring, or in sports in general, you can get typically you get your child so far, but that at a certain point in time, when you get into the upper level of the profession, you need to switch off to somebody that is a world-class trainer and somebody that can really work with your son at that very high level, and not somebody, you know, versus a father who's never been a professional fighter himself or has never trained somebody at a world-class level, right? That you make those switches. And this is probably the time for Teofimo Lopez to make that switch. Unfortunately for Teofimo Lopez, for Teofimo Lopez's career, Teofimo Lopez responded and said, hey, look, that is not happening. We're with each other until the wheels fall off of this, right? You know, that's all good and that's all fine and good to say. However, if you did not notice, Teofimo, the wheels fell off, right? That's what the wheels fall off looks like. Right? We're in it together till the wheels fall off. That makes sense. But man, your wheels were flying down the street during that last fight. So until about right now. Now, I don't necessarily think, and this is my opinion, that he needs to fire his father, because that would absolutely cause a lot of drama and even more turmoil in the life of a guy that already seems to be having a lot of turmoil in his life, right? An article was written about how, his wife filed for divorce on him, how, he's having monetary problems. I think he said something about him having an elbow injury before the fight or whatever. Even though I thought that elbow injury was older, right? Because he said he had an elbow injury, but I think he was talking about before the Lomachenko fight. But anyway, if it was a recent elbow injury, okay, it's a recent elbow injury. But, he had, the fight was delayed with COVID. Just a lot of different stuff going on in his life, right? So to add more of that by creating more stress around his father, by getting rid of his father, I don't think that is very, very smart. I honestly think he should probably take a page out of the book of one of his arch nemesis, which is Devin Haney and Bill Haney. Devin Haney's father his trainer has been Bill Haney, I do believe, since he was a young kid through the amateurs into the professionals, has been in the corner with his father. However, his father has not gone about training his son alone. He has had Floyd Mayweather Sr. working with his son. He's got Mickey Bay in the corner. Mickey Bay, who's a former world champion himself, working in the gym with Devin Haney, working on things with Devin Haney. So there are ways that you can work. There's ways that you can work with your son, but still bring in other experts to help game plan, to help think through, these fights, man. Because what Teofimo Lopez is going to find now is that people are going to think that there's a blueprint out on him and are going to be game planning for him in his next fight. The what do you call it? The mystique of undefeatable monster puncher, guy is gone after George Kambosos dusted him right now. And the reason I say that is there's not a lot of people who are thinking that George Kambosos is a world beater. I think he's a top lightweight and he should probably be getting more respect than he's getting. But, I don't think there's a whole lot of people out there are worried about him beating Gervonta Davis, right? As a matter of fact, Gervonta Davis, Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney, and all these guys licking their chops to get at George Kambosos. So, that was a major hit to him. So what I think should probably do is just bring on some consultants, bring on some people to work with them and game plan with them, switch things up in training, just, kind of add a different dimension to what he's doing, get back to the basics and then come back. So, but at the same time, man, if his father is not going to give up the reins, at a certain point in time, man, you got to go solo. I mean, there is, a thing about being loyal to your family, being loyal to your father and all that. But once you get to the point where you're a man, that's kind of the way that the world is built. You're supposed to be in your mother and your father's house, or your father's house or your mother's house, however you were raised, up until you get to the point of maturity. And at that point in time, you can go off and do and be your own man, live your own life, right? And I don't think that that's much difference in the boxing ring. If Teofimo Lopez takes control and takes complete ownership of his career and stays focused and all that, he very well may be able to get back up to the top of the sport, man. One of the things that, Teddy Atlas said about him was talking about talent, right? And how talented Teofimo Lopez is, but that there's different types of talent, right? There's the talent of consistency. There's the talent of, specifically the talent of consistency and the talent of being reliable and level-headed and all of that. And, him and his father are both very, what do you call it? It was almost like chaotic, right? So to have somebody that is more of a calming, neutral, presence in his life or in his corner that can calm him down, steady the roads, that absolutely may be what Teofimo Lopez needs to get back on top, because the kid can most definitely fight. But what he said was on his Twitter, he's like, I'm with my dad till the wheels fall off. And, and hey, man, loyalty is a big thing, no doubt about it. But you can be loyal and you can be smart at the same time is my point of view. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. And make sure you hit that like button if you liked the video, if you watched it all the way to the end. Also, subscribe to the channel if you're not. It would be greatly appreciated. Thank you so much. Put the comments in the comment section. I respond to comments in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Peace.